Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to review an amazing book called The Last House on Needless Street. So how did I know about this book? Actually, I found the book by browsing through a website called Book Depository. It is a UK-based online bookstore offering millions of books with free delivery worldwide. I ordered and bought the book last year at a price of US $14 and it came only about a month. I started reading the book around March with a lot of breaks and hiatus in between and finished it on the 20th of August. In my opinion though, the best way to read this book is to finish it in one go or in a few days. Why did I choose these books to review? Well, it's the only book that's different from my other books. Most of my books that I've read are fantasy, adventure, and sci-fi. And fun fact, this is actually my very first book in the horror and thriller genre. My first impression when I look at the cover and reading the title is, this sounds interesting. So I clicked the icon on the website and start to read the synopsis. This is the story of a murderer, a stolen child, revenge. This is the story of Ted, who lives with his young daughter Lauren and his cat Olivia in an ordinary house at the end of an ordinary street. All these things are true, and yet some of them are lies. An unspeakable secret binds the family together, and when a new neighbor moves in next door, the truth may destroy them all. Because there's something buried in the dark forest at the end of Needless Street. But it's not what you think. Bam, and just like that, the synopsis sold me. And not only the synopsis, the reviews, which seems endless, solidified my decision to buy the book. One of my favorite is from Emma Healy, author of Elizabeth is Missing. This book is tender rather than terrifying, playful and sweet as well as sinister and thrilling. The creeping dread is tempered beautifully with humor and it ends being extremely emotionally impactful. Now onto my book review. In this creepy house, no one's who you think they are, not even the cat. As soon as you crack open the book, you know something's very wrong. More than biting into a nice apple and finding a worm, this book is like unexpectedly stepping on the worm barefoot, only to find out the worm isn't a worm. Horror fiction can scare readers and make them anxious, but the most powerful narratives in the genre manage to create an unshakable sense of unease, and that's exactly what the novel does. The chapters alternate between Ted, Olivia, yes, the cat has point of view, which is my favorite part of the book, and Lauren and Dee, and none of them can be trusted. Here are some insights on each character. The first character to be introduced is Ted Bannerman. He lives alone with his cat Olivia in a dilapidated, boarded-up house at the end of a cul-de-sac. He's unemployed, drinks a lot, suffers from a few undiagnosed mental health problems. Next one is his daughter, Lauren. She comes to visit from time to time, but they never go out when she does, and their relationship is always tense and violent. The next one is Dee, the neighbor. She moves into the abandoned house next door while on her quest to find her sister, who was kidnapped years ago, in which in the story, she suspects that Ted was the murderer. And of course, Olivia the cat. She is actually my favorite character in this book. Her personality and attitude is actually exactly the same as what I thought a cat would have if we can read their minds. And she's also religious and loves to watch TV shows. So what I found interesting in this book is that everything in The Last House on Needless Street is old, dirty, or broken. The same applies to the psyches of its characters. The creepy dilapidation of the outside world mirrors their mental state. So without spoiling anything, the book is complex and multi-layered. There is truth we begin to see relatively early on, but when you're standing on shaky ground and the narrative keeps throwing curveballs your way, believing you know what's happening is almost impossible. And that's how my experience when reading the book. The story in this book, specifically the backstory of some of the characters, is touching, and the ending is quite satisfying, and it actually inspires me to be more aware of the different types of psychological and mental issues that some people have. That's as far as I can get without spoiling the main idea of this book. I give this book 4.8 out of 5 stars because at first it can be quite confusing, but there's more than meets the eye. All in all, the experience is unlike anything out there, and I think this is a must read for those who like the labyrinthine narratives that pull the rug out from under you, sending you tumbling into a dark, dark room.